think we're good.
Are we on?
I'm pretty sure.
Are we on the internet? Let's find out.
It says stop streaming or not, so...
Then it's probably fine.
Yeah.
It has not updated on the channel yet because it's still like... It still hasn't figured out quite what's going on, but I will... Ah! It appears to be working.
Yeah?
It appears to be working. There's
Sweet.
me checking my phone and doing this motion.
Alright, well I have it so that I can check the chat.
That's perfect.
But I can still see my thing.
Yeah.
So, hello, good evening!
Hello!
We are the Calico Dragon.
Yep.
And this is the very first session of our Heritage campaign. Not really. So
So
my name is Michelle.
Sorry, I forgot to fix that bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's the very first session of our Descent to Avernus part of the
there we
Heritage
go.
campaign. Which
There we
is,
go.
I think, what I was going for when I wrote up the spiel.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So,
Hooray!
before we jump in, I'm just going to go ahead and recap some of our I cannot read for shit.
I don't remember.
Oh,
what I wrote.
introductory. My
There you
brain.
go.
I'm going to recap some introductory stuff from our last episode. For those that may not know, Heritage is a dual campaign following the events from both the Descent into Avernus and Out of the Abyss campaign stories. Chris and I switch roles every week, and one of us will be DMing the story. Today that's me.
Shaking the table.
And the other player...
Everything's so delicately set up. We're not
I
That's not me
Don't-
messing with you. It's just me.
Don't break.
And then the earthquake hit them.
Oh god.
Ugh.
That would be terrible.
And go.
I think we're good. So when we're actually on time, we'll be streaming at 8 p.m. on Monday nights, Eastern Standard Time. The VOD will be available on our YouTube channel, The Calico Dragon, later in the week. We don't know when.
At some point,
Yeah.
thankfully,
We will get on a regular schedule at some point.
thankfully, we're not constrained by the rules of being like a Twitch partner, which makes it slightly easier to fuck around with that kind of thing because it means that I can just basically be like, all right, it's the next morning. I posted it on the channel, and that's about it.
Yep.
So that's probably what's going to end up happening.
So please be aware, in the interest of making these modules function for a party of one, we are taking some liberties with the rules as written. We are not currently sponsored, but I am using notes. I'm going to butcher this name. Michael Gelfi for my music today. He's pretty cool. He does a lot of Dungeons and Dragons music, a lot of ambiance, some actual orchestral music. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna move the speaker so that it's a little bit more hearable, because if it's
Okay.
here, then you can hear it on the thing.
Okay.
That's what I discovered.
Cool. So yeah, I'll be using him for my music. La-da-da-da-da. So be sure to check him out. I'm reading. I will get better at this.
It's okay. It's okay, because eventually we're gonna get to a point where it's just a spiel,
Yeah.
like the one that I've written. We're definitely not, like, that's what we're saying right now is not scripted.
No.
Definitely not. And it's definitely not gonna continue to be scripted as time goes on.
So anyway, we would like to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
I will be your dungeon master today, Michelle. I don't think I've actually said my name yet.
No, I
today.
think I was like, I don't remember if I introduced who I was, but that's
No.
okay.
Who are you?
My name is Krista. I do stuff sometimes, and
Yeah?
I'm also very tired from work, but I am ready to get into this character.
And
So,
I'm
yeah.
Michelle, and I'll be your dungeon master for tonight. We're going to be starting Jasper's story into Descent into Avernus today. So,
I just looked at my stats, and I'm concerned because I haven't looked at them basically since I rolled them and made my character sheet, which is like a month ago.
yeah,
And I just remembered what my strength score is,
it's gonna be fun.
and it's not good.
It's gonna be fun. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Are you ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
I am ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Let me get the music up.
La musica. I was waiting for the credits to roll because I'm so used to
I know.
the critical rolls.
At some
where it's
point
just
we'll have
like,
credits. I think that should be a goal of ours. It's a stretch goal, guys.
yeah, Michelle animates the entire.
Did you just see the blood leave my
Yeah,
face?
that's why I shut the fuck up. Who better to animate it than the person with the photography degree? That's what I'm saying.
another time. All right. Let's get into Descent of Avernus.
Okay. Oh boy.
Welcome to Baldur's Gate, a veritable nest of rats and vipers clinging to the rocky slopes overlooking the Kyanthar River. Here, even the most hardened adventurers watch their steps, where lives hold prices in copper, and greed proves more deadlier than dragonfire. Baldur's Gate has a reputation for being a rough place, where crime and opportunity walk hand in hand, and where anything can be bought, sold, or seized at sword point. In the upper city, protected by their high walls and well-paid watchmen, live the Paetirs, the city's detached upper class. There, they lavish in all of the world's finest splendors and pay little mind to the less fortunate, besides making sure that they stay in their place and out of sight. Below them, a crescent of steeply sloping neighborhoods and narrow cobblestone thoroughfares plays home to the common folk of Baldur's Gate. Cramped and bustling with business of 1,000 shops, the lower city turns eerily quiet once the sun goes down and the river's dense fog creeps in. And for good reason. Crime of all sorts is rampant here, from petty smuggling to outright murder. Though the city's government tries to curtail this by paying the Flaming Fist to patrol the streets, the mercenaries sometimes seem more like an occupying army rather than a true police force, better suited for undiscriminate head-cracking than delicate investigation. And then there's the dirty and uncouth outer city that holds everything the elite of Baldur's Gate resist allowing within their walls. The poor, refugees, tanneries, stockyards, and other industries that offend their high-born sensibilities. Stretching forth from each of the city's external gates, the outer city sprawls in a chaotic tangle of shanties and shops, carts and tents lining the roadways. Residents of those neighborhoods are not technically citizens and receive no representation in government, nor do they receive the benefit of the city's police force. As a result, they find themselves deep within the influence of the underground city's crime syndicate, known as the Guild, which oversees almost every organized criminal act within Baldur's Gate, from dockside gambling rings to blackmail at Paetier garden parties. Either under the Guild's command or in defiance of them, those who cut purses or throats make a decent living in the city. Their talents treated as briskly, and often as openly, as those of any other professional. Our story begins here, in the Stony Eye district of the outer city, just outside the Basilisk Gate, in the late afternoon on the day of Maripinth, in a messy room, in a small shanty house tucked away on the Sword Coast Way. A cat with tangled gray hair pushes its way through a broken window pane and pads over to a bruised and sleeping male tiefling strewn across the straw mattress. In a ritualistic greeting, the cat smears its face against the tiefling's forehead, giving a few nose licks before attending to its own grooming needs, and allowing the tiefling to slowly awaken from his all too short slumber. If you would like to introduce your character.
My character is named Jasper Murdoch. He is a tiefling, as mentioned. There are small aspects of his features that are vaguely reminiscent of possibly having some orc in his lineage, though probably a very small amount. He's, for all intents and purposes, a quarter orc. And is not, it's not heavily prominent. It looks like the human side of his lineage is more prevalent here, although, he looks more like a demon now than anything else, or a devil, or what have you. His skin is gray and sort of marbled. I've sort of modeled it after what's it called? I think it's just a gray jasper is the stone color. So this kind of mottled gray, marbling all across his body, a little bit darker around the eyes, very dark horns. He has white hair that is pulled back in a very messy, because he didn't bother to take it out, before he went to sleep, just half tail on the back of his head. It comes down to his shoulders. He's probably still dressed partially from the day before, having just kind of stumbled into the house and maybe kicked off a shoe and then collapsed into bed and curled up and just let oblivion take him. And that's what he looks like. He's my boy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know that you have probably about 10 minutes or so at most before you need to start your walk to the Elsong Tavern where you work currently. Unless you're late too many times. Alan is a forgiving half-elf, but...
Alan. Does he do the Alan roll?
No.
You sure? That's a joke only a few people will get. Alan, if you're watching, you're probably not watching. We love you. Well, fuck. There goes breakfast, I guess. What time is it? Like, what time of day is it at this point?
It's around like 3-ish or so. You sleep in late during the day. You work the night shifts.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not morning by any stretch of the imagination.
Sure. Okay. Well, I will shove the cat away from my face.
It kind of protests and kind of, goes back to licking it.
Stop licking your ass in my fucking face, and I'll just pet it a little bit. Yeah. Like, I've got a little bit of affection for this animal, but still, stop licking your asshole in my face. Just kind of shove it. Very gingerly get up, kind of catch my side as I'm doing that. Lift up my shirt. There's a gigantic fucking bruise on my ribs.
It hurts.
I probably cracked one last night. But, it's par for the course, so whatever. Get up, wash my face. That hurts, because I've also got a gigantic bruise on my face. I don't remember losing that hard, but,
it always never seems that hard in the moment.
It's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm going to get up and just spend a few minutes just kind of rummaging around in the house, trying to find something to scrounge together for breakfast.
You find a couple of eggs
that
are laying around that probably could be used up at this point.
I kind of look at the fireplace.
You've eaten the rest of your bacon, unfortunately.
Fuck. That's just my fucking luck. Okay. I don't have time to cook eggs if it's only 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna not eat breakfast, and maybe I can just have some food when I'm there. Yeah. Alan doesn't always care, and sometimes people don't like their food, but it's perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned, and they're idiots, so I'm just gonna put on my stuff, make sure I've got a couple of daggers concealed, just in case. Put on my cowl. I've got this kind of blue scarf cowl thing, and I'm gonna head on out.
Do you put it over on your head, or do you just wear it around your neck?
That's a good question. Am I drunk? Will it blend? That is the question. I am drunk.
Okay.
Well, hungover at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Enough that the sun hurts. So I think I walk out of the house without it on, and then I immediately just kind of and pull it up so that my face is in a little bit of shadow, purely because it's too bright out for my taste.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and you open up your doors and are immediately greeted by the warm, familiar thrum of the outer city commerce. Hecklers and harkers shouting across the street, vying for the attention of passerbyers. Horses and oxen, tired and sweating from long travels, bray in protest as they are being traded for a few clinking coins, stealing dreary glances to the butcher shop down the way. Merchants, laborers, and travelers all plod down the muddy road toward the Basilisk Gate and search for coin, protection, and more sanitary conditions than what the outer city of Baldur's Gate provides. Recently, though, the roads have been plagued by an ongoing surge of wide-eyed, road-weary, and desperate refugees, all pleading for sanctuary and crying about their lost city. It's gone. El Terrell, it's just gone. The companion has forsaken us. What did we do to deserve this? My husband was in the city when it fell. I have lost everything, and now my children grow hungry and sick, and there is nothing I can do about it. Their stories are all heartbreaking, but have done nothing to earn them the respect of the downtrodden of the outer city, who could care less about the pompous, pious people of El Terrell, and see their misfortune as some sort of righteous karma against the upper class. This has not dissuaded the Elturian people from begging for any scrap, coin, or shelter they can bleed from the city, however. Even you have the occasional beggar that is willing to overlook your horns and tiefling-like appearance in the hopes of getting some sort of aid. Most of these beggars have been children who have yet to inherit their parents' deep-rooted hatred for anyone different and, in their eyes, unholy. Please, sir, my mum is sick and I haven't eaten in days. Do you have anything to spare? Small, dirty hands reach up to you in hopeful defiance of the cold glares and shocked gasps of onlookers. Please, sir, anything would help. We don't have anything.
Kind of kneel down a little bit, so I'm on the same eye level as him, and say, "Listen, kid, I don't have anything on me right now. Because I tell you what, I'm not probably as well off as you, but tell you what, you stop by later, I'll have something for you. Okay?
Okay, I'll tell my mom." And he goes ahead and scampers off.
Okay.
There's a couple of glances that you receive from some of the onlookers. Most of them are cold.
Okay.
None of them say anything.
Can I shout out to him before he gets too far away? How many siblings do you have?
It's just me. My brother died last night.
So it's you and your mom?
Just me and my mom.
Just want to make sure I have a count. Oh boy.
Helm's blessing on you. And he runs off.
Blessings on you too. Fuck. What am I doing?
You continue down your way down the busy thoroughfare. The street getting more and more condensed as you go forth. Soon you're upon the gate known as the Basilisk Gate. It's great stone walls arcing up, and at the apex of the gate there is this gruesome stone head that what you can only assume is for the gate's namesake. Though you've never actually seen a basilisk in person, so you don't know.
I'm good. Frankly, I'm good. I've heard enough stories.
You take note of the fact that there seems to be more guards today. The Flaming Fists seem to be more present. Probably from the influx of people that are gathering around here. And they're actually manning the two ballistas that are flanking the gate on the top. And there's about 8 of them on ground level. But even this does not help them to be able to get the crowd moving. And there seems to be some sort of blockade as people are not willing to take no for an answer, to be ushered away. And as you stand there for a moment, you hear a voice ring out to you. "You there! You look like a strong lad. Help an old man out. I have too many packs, not enough hands." You look over, and there is an old dwarf tinkerer, with thick, bushy eyebrows that flare out, overlapping a mess of white hair to form an unfettered crown around his bald head. His eyes are wild and quizzical, switching between madness and genius. The faint smell of oil and smoke are clinging to his stained clothes. Quietly standing behind him is a copper dragonborn carrying quite a few packs and looking around somewhat nervously at the surrounding people. As you get closer, you are shoulder to shoulder with people.
Okay.
"What do you say, lad? You want to make a few silver talons? There's 5 of them in it for you. You just need to get me to the High House of Wonders. Shouldn't be too hard for a strapping young lad like yourself. What do you say?"
I say that, well, sure. For 5 silvers, I will pretend to be strong for a few hours.
"Good enough for me. And he goes ahead and he takes a few of them and hands them to you.
Okay. How for a 7 strength lad who is also beat to shit still and has a bruised rib that might be fractured.
It's fairly heavy.
Okay. Sling it over. Is it like, does it have a strap on it?
It
that
does
I can
have
sling
a,
over?
it,
Okay.
It does. He does have straps.
Okay.
That he hands you. He hands you about 2 of them to be able to hold on.
Okay.
I
put them both over my good shoulder because this one hurts really bad.
Looks like somebody did a number on you last night, huh? Getting into some trouble, eh? I got into a few troubles myself as a youth.
I'm sure you did, sir.
So what is all this mess about?
I was gonna ask you that. I just got up. I don't know.
Well, I just got here a few moments ago with... Well, I don't rightly know the name, but they've been helpful.
That the Dragonborn a little bit, just...
Dragonborn is completely almost ignoring you as just, like, keeping their eyes on a swivel. And as you approached, looked you over, up and down once, and then continued to keep an eye out on everything else.
Okay. The dwarf is male.
Yes.
Okay. The Dragonborn, have I seen Dragonborn? I know that, like, I'm assuming that they're not particularly prevalent in this area just from what I know of the Sword Coast.
Yeah,
a little
they're
bit.
not exactly prevalent. You might have seen 1 or 2. It's
Sure.
very hard to tell their sex.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring you're going with there.
So, the Dragonborn themselves has kind of a very angular, triangular type head, very thick, like thick this wise, and then angular downwards. And they have...
I didn't hear anything, it's fine.
I slipped up my own thing.
I think you might have told me previously
Yeah.
anyway, so it's not a problem.
They have thick horns on top, and then 2 smaller ones kind of flaring out, and a couple frills.
Nice. Okay.
And it's just a
She. It's a she.
It's
I don't
a she.
know that, but
I tried so hard.
got so far.
And got so far.
You did a good several sentences.
I
with
did.
A gender neutral.
I just can't do it. They're wearing a dark burgundy tabard.
Okay.
That is seeming to have no emblem on it. It's just a blank tabard on it. And not really wearing too much armor, but scales are fairly shined and polished as if they take care of themselves very well and appreciate good hygiene.
Okay. I can appreciate that as well, despite the fact that I am a fucking mess right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't rightly know what's going on here. It's normally not this busy at this time of day.
No, it's really not. It's usually pretty fast for me to get in and into work, but you know. Where am I taking these again? How long is this going to take? Because I do have a job that I got to get to.
Oh, it's fine. It's just up the hill in the upper city to the High House of Wonders.
How far away is that?
It's not the closest to your job.
Okay.
But it's not too terribly far. It's probably about 20 minutes walk or so from your job.
Okay.
So it'll be a while.
Sure.
But
So I'll be a little bit late, but
yeah. The tinkerer goes ahead and is like, I'll compensate you for any time that you spend. It'll be fine.
well, I much appreciate that. My boss isn't going to be particularly happy, but you know.
No. I didn't peg you for one that has a job, no offense. You don't really have any sort of grime under your skin like one of the other laborers.
Not that kind of labor. My kind of job, you got to stay a little bit clean.
Right. You're not a pickpocket, are you?
No.
Good.
Never really was my fancy.
What is it that you do?
I'm a
So,
cook.
You're a cook. Where is it that you cook?
What is the name of the tavern? I don't
Elf
actually
Song
remember.
Tavern.
What was that?
Elf Song
The
Tavern.
Elf Song. Right. Yes, thank you.
Oh, I've had the food there. It's quite nice.
Well, thank you. That's probably mine.
How long have you been working there?
About a year and a half, almost 2 years at this point. Kind of craning my neck to see if I can see anything at this point. Like, is there been any change, any kind of movement?
There seems to be even more of a blockade at this point as people are just refusing to leave, even though the Flaming Fist are trying to turn them away.
It's like that scene in that one episode of Attack on Titan where there's this one fucking merchant that's got his big ass cart stuck in the tunnel, and he's like, "No, all of you need to wait. You don't need to evacuate. It's fine. I gotta get my goods through." And finally, like, Mikasa shows up and is like, "Fucking move!" And they're
Yeah. In this case, it seems more like they cannot pay the toll to be able to get into Baldur's Gate, as it cost 5 copper to be able to enter the city.
Do I have to pay 5 copper every time to get in and out? Well, shit! That blows.
It's the price people pay.
Motherfucker.
And the dwarf kind of pipes up, you know, you think if they couldn't pay a measly 5 copper, then what are they thinking they're going to do in the town? They can't afford anything. They're just going to be ushered out at the end of the day. Might as well just set up shop here. It's a waste of bloody time and my time for them to be trying to get in there.
Maybe they think they're going to find their fortune in there. Who knows?
Yeah, if they find that fortune, they should let me know. I've been searching for it for a while now.
Well, then you know exactly what it's like. Do I know any back ways into the city? Because I am one impatient boy.
There are a couple.
Okay.
Mostly involving smugglers.
Okay.
You know that if you backtrack towards the Twin Songs district, you can more than likely find somebody that is willing to smuggle you down the Kayntha River over to the Brambleton district, which is within the lower city district.
Do I get the impression, having formed that mental map in my head, that that is going to be even marginally faster getting this shit done than just waiting my fucking turn?
You're not entirely sure, and as you are pondering about this, you start to hear, you pick up on some fast movement of one of the Flaming Fists by the gatehouse.
Okay.
And you kind of look, gaze over in that direction, and you can see that there is a Fist member whispering something into one of the members' ears, then running to another, whispering something else. And there seems to be just this wave of whispers going on, and worried looks and frantic, looking around. And the audience, the crowd seems to pick up on this as well, and starts getting even more agitated and angry, and trying to push forward. And in retaliation, the Fists are trying to hold everybody back. And then suddenly, one of them does this motion, and the gates start to close. And from that moment, the crowd of refugees surges forward, trying their best to get into the city, realizing that they are being locked out.
Well,
you are immediately pushed and shoved, and I need you to go ahead and make me a constitution check to be able to see if you can battle the pushing.
check or save? I guess it doesn't matter
Check.
either way. It's the same thing. 13.
13. You manage to stay on your feet, although you are roughly bumped a couple times, and one of the packs does fall down.
Okay.
And the dwarf, careful now!
I pick it up. I've got it. I got it. Let's just.
Do you have another way out of here?
I do. Just
right.
Listen. I'm gonna get him out of the crowd a little bit, just enough so that we're not like shoulder to shoulder at this point. We'd be like, I can get you in.
Yes.
A gold.
Done. Done.
Cool.
Gold.
Sounds good to me.
You start
Follow
to
me,
move
please.
off, and you can hear the shouting as Fist members are just shoving and pushing the people back. Finally, a couple of them actually break through the refugees, and there are some Fists that come in and just run a sword right through them.
Jesus.
Which
Okay.
blows everything even more into chaos. And
Right.
there are some Fist members that start rolling out these barrels, and another Fist member that comes in and takes off the lid of one of the barrels, does some arcane gestures, and starts pulling the water up and then streaming it out into the crowd, trying to repel them backwards away from the gate as the bars are coming down.
Well, shit. All right. Come on.
Right,
Follow me.
yes.
Just stay on me. Don't.
Just move!
I'm moving. I'm going.
And you guys go
Follow
ahead.
me. Come on.
And you try to move your way out. Go ahead and make me a, I guess it would be a stealth check of some sort to be able to kind of like try to maneuver your way through the crowd.
Same roll, but it's better result. That is 18.
18. You kind of weave a path through the crowd. A couple of times people are bumping into you and pushing you backwards and trying to knock you down, and just this frantic kind of chaos. And the Dragonborn actually pulls out a shield from her back and puts it in front of you and just kind of looks at you and motions forward. And you guys
as well.
You continue to push forward, and you manage to break apart from the battle that is ensuing at the gates.
Cool.
With ballistas shots being thrown down at this point, trying to get these people to back off.
Well, fuck. At least I'll have an excuse.
Yeah. Yep.
And Alan doesn't need to know about the other part of the job.
Alright. You go backtracking through the district of the Stony Eyes, and you know that the path that you need to take is essentially going all the way around the Dusk Hawk Hill.
Okay.
Going through essentially the length of...
I think I might need to go see what the fuck they're doing. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry, but there are cats destroying things upstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm not comfortable with what's going on.
intermissions.
Sorry. You got to see my booty, though. What's going on up here?
I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording real quick, and then we'll start back. Or no, not stop. Whatchamacallit. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to... maybe. I'm not gonna do anything. I don't know how to mess with this. Yeah. Earth whale. I am not familiar with Earth whale. Earth whale, if you are willing to let me know who you are, I am very curious.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
They're good. They had ripped off the thing, like the tunnel that I had created, and it's fine. It's intact, but it's...
Okay.
They had ripped it off, and they had also knocked down the
See, they were rioting too. They wanted to add to the effect of...
Are we still
yeah, we
on?
are. Oh, hi, Tom.
Hey, it's Tom!
Tom!
I don't have Twitch pulled up anymore, because I was like, I shouldn't,
Yeah.
but...
Yeah, no, Tom's on.
Let me see. I can't see. That's okay. You got to us right as the cat started fucking with things.
Alright, so, bringing it all back in. You need to travel pretty much the length of the Coastway Road.
Okay.
Essentially going all the way around this hill up to the Kyanthar River, where you enter the Twin Songs District.
No.
But
you're passing it to me.
I'm not going to pass it to you. Are you kidding? No, I'm going to look up something. Because they've got...
I like maps. Maps help me orient.
I know. I will give it to you in
I can pull up a map on my
seconds.
phone if I need to.
I'm literally just looking up the description of Twin whatchamacallit because I'm dumb and I didn't look that up before. Ooh. You know, it would have been smart if I had done this while you were up there.
D&D Beyond.
Alright.
Guys.
So you go ahead and you travel down to the Twin Songs District.
Okay.
The dwarf is just constantly talking, and you realize that he's kind of like a very irritable dwarf. He thinks that anything can be solved with just a little bit of intuition and forethought, and doesn't like it when people waste their time. And so he continues to go on and on about the refugees.
I tune him out pretty quickly.
You arrive at the Twin Songs District, which... I'm just going to read this word for word.
Okay.
Standing ready to welcome visitors as they cross the river, Twin Songs is renowned for its enormous diversity of shrines and places of worship, from tiny roadside altars and idols to home-based temples. While those in search of significant magic must still generally visit the larger temples in the city proper, No god is too foreign or obscure to be worshipped in the Twin Songs' divine sprawl, where even non-criminal worship of fiends and the dead three goes unchallenged. So that's you see a bunch of different shrines and such.
Okay.
But they're so essentially you are over here and you're going all the way over here.
Okay.
And then you want to go
Gotcha.
down
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So essentially, you arrive at Twin Songs.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to find a smuggler?
I am going to go ahead and put on a couple of my bands.
Okay.
On display, just very casually, just kind of put on a couple of. I don't actually remember where they're supposed to be located.
Yeah,
I forgot to look that up, but for all intents and purposes, the signifier that I am open for business generally in the varied trades, shall we say. And just kind of start looking around to see if I can find anybody. I would specifically start looking around to see if I can find anybody who wears the twin bands that are specifically signifiers of smuggling.
Go ahead and give me a perception check as you're walking around town.
Okay, that is a 17.
17. Okay. You know around where they're typically located, and so you don't waste time walking around the town for the most part. You go straight, beeline to the shoreline, and you find a couple of outside-ish taverns that aren't necessarily establishments, but they've got the setup of, you know, a couple barrels and some drinks and whatnot. And you see that there is a human male in a cloak that appears to be wearing the right accoutrement to what you're looking for, and he is currently playing a game of Baldur's Bones.
Cool. I resist the urge to play as well, because I've got other things in mind. And I greet him with probably just it's been a long time. How's it going?
Long time indeed.
Sorry, I've been a little bit scarce for
Yeah?
a while, but you know how it is.
Definitely. So, how's the family been?
Been pretty good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Been traveling a little bit with this guy. He's been helping him out a little bit.
The dwarf kind of looks around and is like, is this the guy? Is he going to take us?
Just
Right, I'm not exactly fluent in these
I'm
things.
aware. I can tell. And I kind of just give us a second. Kind of pull him away a little bit. How much are you willing to put down for this?
He kind of gets this kind of, like, he starts to answer, and then he kind of pulls back and is like, well, how much is it going to cost?
How much are you willing to pay for it?
It depends on how much it costs.
Do I know roughly how much a job like this would normally run?
It varies, and it's typically a couple of gold.
Okay.
But from the sounds of the bells tolling and whatnot, the city is probably on lockdown.
Yeah.
Which means the prices are going to skyrocket.
Sure.
At this point. To which the gentleman playing Boulder's Bones, who has stopped, kind of chuckles to himself and is like, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. You know, at this point in time, I don't think I would be really willing to take any sort of business. Unless it was for a good price.
It's breaking the code, my friend.
Well,
let's just say
this is Baldur's Gate.
That my friend here is trying to get into the city for his niece's 7th birthday.
I thought it would have been the niece's. I thought the niece was a lot older than that, to be quite honest.
She older than that? She older than 7? Kind of look down at the guy.
I don't really have a niece. Oh, you mean? Oh, right. Well,
there you go. He's smooth, and I kind of
would you be willing to
say that to the Dragonborn.
The Dragonborn, you like kind of move over to say that.
Yeah.
No interaction.
Okay.
Doesn't even flinch at it or anything. Just staring intently at the dice.
Remind me not to play poker with you.
The dwarf goes ahead and pipes up that I've got a few gold on me, maybe about 10 or 15 or so. Would that be enough?
Turns out, I'm sorry, I haven't been around him in a while. It's actually his niece's 10th birthday.
I just heard he's got 15.
15th birthday. What the fuck do I care?
Look, I'm not going to be willing to do this for any less than 30 gold. This is a high stakes problem at this point.
At this point, buddy, it's up to you.
I don't really have that much money. Would you be willing to trade for this? And the guy kind of like chalantly shrugs, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And the tinker goes in and is like, wait, got this?
Okay.
And goes to the dragonborn and is like, excuse me.
He's trying to kind of tap her on the shoulder just a little bit.
The dragonborn kind of like shakes and looks down and then kind of like bends down at the behest of the dwarf,
Sure.
kind of telling them to bend down.
Mm-hmm.
Rummages through a pack and then produces a coil of rope and then hands it out. To which the guy just looks at it and busts out laughing. Well, it's a magic rope, of course. I'm not going to hand you some, like, normal, mundane rope.
It's magic rope.
It's magic. The guy is still...
I'm, like, standing just a little bit behind the dwarf.
Yeah.
So that I can kind of just be like, just make minor derisive comments or motions in his direction without him noticing what I'm doing.
Look, you whisper some incantations to it, and then it rises and you can tie it to things. Perhaps something useful for somebody in the boat trade. I'm told that you guys like ropes. The guy kind of like shaking his head and being like,
They do like their ropes.
We do.
I just kind of put my hands up.
I know. This is the awkward part of...
I know, of you having to talk. And that's the thing, is that, like, it's up to him.
Yeah.
I know. Like, I've gotten him here.
Yeah. They end up going back and forth for a little bit, and what they end up doing is the dwarf ends up giving the magical rope to the guy after demonstrating it.
Sure.
He speaks some incantations, and the rope rises and then moves and ties around a thing, and he says another thing, and the rope unties and coils back together. Hands it to him and is like, I will give you this for trade. Passage along the river into the city.
Into the city.
And he's like, the rope and 10 gold. The rope and 5 gold. Done.
So you got this. What'd you need me for? Right, to carry the bags. I got it. Pick up the bags.
That and I wouldn't know where to go to find this gentleman, although he seems very rude, to be quite honest.
He's actually one of the nicer ones.
That rope is worth 10 times that much.
Yeah, but you get inside. So, you know, there's that.
True. And I can just make another rope at some other point. All this
Things
is just
you do,
wasting
that
time,
shop that
though.
You make magic items up in the...
Well, yes, that's what they do up there.
Is that
You
what
never been?
asking what you... I've been there.
Make a deception check.
I have been there. In the upper city? I've been there.
You've been up in the upper city, but are you saying that you've been to the... Actually, well, you would have probably actually seen it. I'll give you that.
Seen his shop?
No.
Or-
So, a little bit of background information is the High House of Wonders.
Oh, that, no. I'm just saying I've been to the upper city.
Okay.
And I've seen that they have
You
magic
know
shops.
of the High House of Wonders, and it is a tinkering workshop where a bunch of tinkers will gather and kind of like a university, just kind of build together and like feed off of each other's ideas. So he is presumably going up there to bring some of his inventions.
Sure.
And hang out with some friends, I guess. I don't know. He
Do
seems
some
pretty
things.
good.
Do some stuff. It's fine.
He reminds me a great deal of Anchor and Copperfuse, who I never got to implement into the Maelstrom campaign, but I love him one way or the other.
This surly old fucking gnomish
Yeah.
tinkerer asshole.
I love tinkers. I forget exactly where we were going with all of that.
We're getting into the city.
Yeah, we are getting into the city. I forget exactly what the conversation was, but either way,
yeah.
he talks to you a little bit more about the inventions, and yes, he does. He is an inventor. I'm a tinkerer. That's what I've called these packs are for. They are my instruments and a few of the items that I've made.
Your instruments are heavy.
Well, yes, and that is what I pay you to carry them for.
Fair enough.
The smuggler goes ahead and looks at the rest of you and is like, given the fact that it is on lockdown, he is not willing to do this job until it is at least somewhat dark.
Shit.
Which it is fall, so it does get dark later.
Yeah, but I'm
or earlier.
We're really late to work, and
It's gonna be pretty
really
late.
fucking mad at me. God damn it.
But at least
I
you're
have an
getting in.
excuse, and I'm getting in. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get back in tomorrow, or get out, but I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
When it's just me, it's easier. When
Yeah.
it's multiple people who can't fucking keep their mouths shut, well, one of them can.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You
I'm a perfect secret keeper. Everybody always tells me their secrets. Nobody's ever known anything about anything.
just told me that people have told you secrets.
Well, yes. But that's not revealing a secret, is it?
No, but it's still revealing the fact that you know secrets, and trust me, my guy, that's not something you really want to let loose in this town.
Yeah,
Or in general.
probably a fair point. I don't know. I've never really hung out among the slums of Baldur's Gate. Mostly just in the upper city.
Can I give you a piece of advice? It's not the slums you gotta worry about.
No?
No. I mean, yeah, you gotta worry about some stuff in the slums.
I was about to say.
With it.
It's a little bit...
But,
no
you know.
offense. We're here. And I'm pretty sure I just saw that man draw a sword.
I mean, yeah. But, you know, when it comes to secret keeping and stuff like that, maybe keep your mouth shut a little bit more. Can't don't say I didn't warn you.
So what is there to do while we wait, I guess, for the sun to go down? All this wasting time.
You
What's
hungry?
this? Yes, actually. Food would be good.
Cool. That I can do you.
Yeah?
Go find a
Yeah.
tavern of
Yeah.
some kind. I'm sure that I've
Yeah,
I've got the
you
job
know-
at the elf song, but like
You know the place.
Yeah.
You go ahead. I am not familiar with any of the taverns
that's okay.
in Twin Songs, but we
There's
go
a tavern.
to a tavern.
Yeah.
And you get drinks.
Okay.
And you get, food and whatnot, and it seems to make him a little bit less irritable
Sure.
and whatnot. The Dragonborn, again, just seems pretty. They're very expressionless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not sure if it's just the fact that you haven't been around Dragonborn before,
Mm-hmm.
or if this one is just really dim-witted. But it just kind of seems to stare, and whenever you make eye contact with them,
Mm-hmm.
they quickly avert their eyes
Okay.
and kind of look down at your hands or the surrounding area and kind of fidget a little bit. And
So what's your story? He's a tinkerer. I'm a fucking idiot. That's helping him. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you're not a fucking idiot, like I am.
takes up one of the packs.
Yeah, but I'm also, and that doesn't mean we're totally different people, so, you know. You don't talk a whole lot, do you? You right? Take that as a no. You read?
Again, you just kind
Sure.
of like
Just averts gaze.
averts gaze and seems. There's like a part of you that thinks maybe they're so uncomfortable, but again, the stare is just blank,
Sure.
and you can't. It like frustrates you
Yeah.
that.
Well, I think that I wouldn't even go so far as to say that it frustrates me. I feel like, you know, this is definitely an odd kind of person, but I've met some fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
In, you know, even more than just the 2 years that I've been in Baldur's Gate. So I think I'm just like, There's another one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
They, you continue to have conversations mostly with the tinkerer and whatnot. Him, like, looking at his sundial kind of thing, being like, is it time yet? And it's not dark yet. Just like, no.
Put your hand. You know how you can tell what time it is, what time of day it is.
Well, I've got a sundial.
Well, you've got that, but there's an easier way.
Somehow I think this is not an easier way. It's just a trap to make me look silly, boy.
I mean, maybe. What you do, it's easy. It also requires your hand. You stick your hand out the window, and if it's still light, that might mean there's a torch. But if it's still light, it's probably day. And if it's dark, then it's nighttime. He also breaks character.
Yeah.
It's not just me. So they've got these really cool
I
things.
can see you're not a comedian at the Elf Song Tavern.
No.
Quite a
No, my brother's the comedian. It's not me.
yeah.
People don't like me as much. I can't imagine why.
I can't
You
imagine
should
either.
submit.
You're at least better company than this oaf. I can't get a word out of them.
They're fine. She, he.
Oh, I don't know. I can't rightly tell. And quite honestly, whenever I speak, it doesn't seem to register in their brain.
I don't think it's that it doesn't register. I think it's just that it doesn't have a whole lot to say.
Anything has something to say.
Kind of look over at them. Just kind of this look of, right?
You notice that it keeps doing these kind of gestures every once in a while.
Sure.
And it seems to be almost like a repeated, like there's several different ones, but they seem to have a repetition to them.
When I notice that, I'm going to start specifically taking notice of them.
Okay.
To see if I can... It's probably nothing,
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm telling myself.
Yeah.
Probably. But I'm getting the... I've seen code before.
Yeah.
It might be something like that, so I want to try to pick up when they're doing things as opposed to some stimuli.
Okay.
So,
It's getting to be about, evening time.
Sure.
It's starting to
stick my
get
hand
dark.
out the
It's
window.
dusk. Yeah, it's dark.
see? Easy.
I've also got a sundial,
You
and
know
we're
what?
also wasting time.
There is an invention that I think I might want to submit to the High
Really?
House of Wonders. Yeah.
For some reason,
It's
I think
a stone. What would give you that impression? It's a stone that tells you the weather.
Okay.
Like, he's not keeping a straight face at this point. He's just enjoying fucking with the guy because he knows that he's not charismatic enough to actually fuck with him. But he knows that he's the only hope this guy's got of getting into the city, so he's just making him tolerate his presence.
You're not very clever, are you?
I think I'm pretty clever enough. We'll go with that. So you got this rock, right?
Right.
You put it outside.
Okay.
Okay. And when the rock is wet, that means it's raining. And when the rock is white, that means it's snowing.
He takes his
etc.
ale.
It's amazing. Bottoms up. He's gonna drink the rest of his too.
Let's bloody well get on with this. I'm
Fine by me.
tired of this nonsensical mess.
Alan likes my jokes. No, he doesn't. He tolerates my jokes, at least. You tolerate my jokes pretty well, too. Kind of looking at the Dragonborn. I appreciate that.
There is a motion of they do another hand motion where it's like making the palm level with the ground and just kind of swaying it back and forth a little bit and kind of nodding a little bit and then walks off.
Okay.
Um,
Jasper will remember that. That's this direction. That's okay.
So you guys go back to the docks and whatnot. And the guy, the smuggler, is there, and he has a boat kind of prepared off to the side, where it's out of the way-ish. There's not a whole lot of guards around here.
Okay.
We're in the outer city.
Yeah.
There are no guards. It's just the guild, so you don't really have to worry about being seen so much. But he still tries to keep at least a little bit discreet. And he goes ahead and he motions you to get into the boat, and you all do. The Dragonborn kind of stops a little bit, seeming a little bit hesitant about this, and then kind of eventually gets into it after taking a deep breath, getting into the boat, and
kind of just. It's okay. You good? Cool. Good.
and kind of
He's trying his best.
trying his best.
He's picked up that there's something, but he doesn't know how to fuck this in.
Yeah. You guys get into the boat and start to go down the river for a bit. It's fairly slow going. I'm trying to find if there's anything that I could actually have.
D&D Beyond, guys,
D&D
is
Beyond,
a tool
or
that I'm not using, but
or
is still pretty
Michael
cool.
Gelfie, guys.
Michael Gelfie.
Michael Gelfie.
Fucking go! All 3 people that are watching the stream. I don't actually know how many people are watching the stream right now.
We're just gonna use the harbor sounds because I don't really have river sounds.
There are 3 viewers, and one of them's me. It's fine. All 3 people that are watching this stream, go check out Michael Gelfie on YouTube.
He's pretty cool.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He'll treat you right.
Yep, that's
I
right.
don't know.
That's right. Oh, there we go. Evening in the city. That'll be good.
Yes.
We'll just do that. You guys travel down the river. It's pretty slow going, and there's the of him traveling. Trying not to make too much noise, especially once you get actually close to the city.
Put my hood over my head.
Okay.
At this point, just as an aesthetic thing, my eyes are, I won't say glowing necessarily, but they're very cat-like in their
Okay.
reflective nature. So I like to, in the
Do you
dark.
have like pupil slits or
No, they've got
normal?
regular eyes,
Okay.
regular pupils, but
Okay.
they do kind of have this very. I'm sort of going with a moon shadow elf,
Okay.
in full moon kind of aesthetic with the eyes,
Okay.
a little bit. So
Cool. So you guys paddle on down the river for a bit, and you, after about 20 or so minutes of the paddling, it's quicker than traveling all the way down the path, but it still takes a little bit.
Sure.
You start to see the blackened shape of the Brambleton neighborhood, but also that's collecting is this very thick, eerie fog that's so dense around. Like, you know where Brambleton is,
yeah.
and that's mostly the reason why you can see it. The smuggler kind of turns over to you and mentions the fact that this fog is bad for most businesses, but I find for mine it's quite nice. Works very well. Means that we won't be seen. It does mean that we could be heard, so shh, while we're getting to shore.
I look over at the dwarf.
Right, I won't talk.
I look over at the dragonborn. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
As you guys are paddling in, the smuggler tries to get even more quiet with his rowing. You're getting fairly close, but you actually see this. You do have the somewhat glow of city lights. Not a whole lot, because most of the town shops close as soon as it turns dark. Except for a few, and those that are open have typically a green light to show that they are open for nighttime business, as customary. The light that you're seeing is orange, and it's a lot bigger than what would be just a normal lantern light. And as you're slowly rowing by, you notice that there is a building on fire.
Shit.
On the cliffside. And you look up and you go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Oh, that's good. Wisdom check. Okay. 19.
19. You're pretty sure that that's the Harborside Hospital that
Shit.
is burning. It seems to there, and you can see that there's quite a few moving figures around it, and a couple of shouting. Not weapon fighting kind of shouting, more like orders being given, and you kind of get in your brain that it's probably the Flaming Fist that are trying to move around this area.
Sure.
And the fire itself seems to be smoldering down, but still being a fire. And the building does not look like it's in that great of shape.
Well, fuck.
That's not very good.
No, that's a hospital.
Who would even attack a hospital? What's
That's
the point?
What I'm interested in now.
You're gonna stay real close to me when we're getting into that city, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just don't want to be jumped. I wasn't expecting to get in during the night time.
We jumped.
I don't even know if I'll be able to get into the other city.
My boss is gonna be fucking pissed at me. Just.
You said that you worked at the Elf Song. He looks over at the smuggler, and the smuggler's like,
I work at the Elf Song. If you want a good bite,
yeah, I've had the food there. It's pretty good.
it's my food. I'm the cook.
Yeah,
I'm glad you like it.
You're not too bad.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Fine, as long as it's already well known. Do you think I could get a room there? Is it close by? It's pretty close by.
Does it have rooms? Is it in like
it does have rooms.
Okay.
It has a few rooms. And as far as you know, none of the refugees have been able to necessarily afford to be able to get them.
But the way that it's looking, I'm probably gonna need to get a room there tonight too. So
Right. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just go there first, and first thing in the light, if you could help me get to the House of High Wonders.
I can do that. Yeah,
All right.
works for me.
We've got to be very quiet now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the smuggler just kind of shakes his head a little bit, and you guys go up to this rocky kind of shore. That's kind of off the beaten path from the town. It seems to be this one place that's not overcrowded in the city. It's got a lot of greenery and overgrowth, but it's growing on top of trash.
Okay.
Essentially, I can speak.
Okay.
There's like trees and shrubbery and whatnot. It's kind of a park, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Because it's not made to be a park.
Sure.
But there's a lot of
kind of
growth.
overgrowth. Yeah.
But it tends to be a place where not a whole lot of people hang out unless they're like smoking or doing drugs or something like that.
So I'm here all the time.
No, you do that somewhere else.
That's fair.
Although
do that in my own house.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you might come out to this place to be able to have some alone time with whatever it is. I don't know what you do in your alone time.
I do drugs in my own time.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. So you get to the shore and
Jasper, not me.
Yeah. And the smuggler kind of turns to the dwarf and says, "Yeah." He kind of grabs the rest of the gold and gives it to the guy. And he's like, "Here's your bloody money. Now, I don't know my way around this area."
You don't?
No, I've never been down here before.
Where the fuck do you think I'm gonna? I'm trying to fuck with him. I'm just not doing it well, for sure.
Yeah.
But because he's probably gotten used to how I am at this point. But why the fuck are we supposed to? Wait, you know where you're supposed to go?
I would have thought that you would have known where you work. You live here,
I know
don't
where
you?
I work, but I know my commute to get there. I'm fucking with you. I know where I'm going.
Jesus Christ. What is wrong with you? There can be murderers around here.
I'm bored. It's fine.
I'm bored. Just give me to your
What
Elson
is
Tavern.
the dragonborn doing? Is she making any particular motion at my fuck aroundery?
You look over at her and you actually see a hint of a smile on her face.
Just kind of keep moving.
And you guys continue on. You know how to get to the Elson Tavern. Yeah. It's not too terribly far away. Essentially, you guys, for the map, you're right here. The Elson Tavern is right there.
Okay.
So you just need to...
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them up to the Elfsong Tavern. Before we go in, I'm going to tell them, all right, you go on in. I'm gonna sneak around the back. Just go in. I just need to go talk to my manager. It's fine. I'll meet you inside. Just take a seat.
Okay.
I still got a job to do. Like, I'm supposed to be here like 4 hours ago, so.
Right. Fine.
You go inside, I'll talk to him, we'll see about getting you a room. I can't pay for it, but.
I wouldn't expect you to. You don't really look like you have 2 coppas on you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I pride myself on that.
And he goes ahead and the Dragonborn goes ahead and holds out a hand for the packs that you have and goes ahead and shoulders them on and just kind of tucks their head in and kind of like looking around. And the 2 of them walk into the tavern.
I'm gonna go around the back.
Okay.
Sneak in as best as I can.
Go ahead and make me a
What I would
check.
like to do, just to get all the way in before what I would ideally like to happen, what Jasper would ideally like to happen, is to sneak in and just start cooking like he's been there the whole time.
Go ahead and
Just
make me a
to
stealth check.
okay. This is when that's not bad. Okay, stealth, that's 18.
18. You go ahead and you make your way into the kitchen, quietly closing the door behind you, and you notice that Alan is currently busily trying to keep up with orders
Sure.
and whatnot behind in the kitchen, but he has his back to you, so you just manage to slink up and just start going over to the grill and just start
flipping things,
yeah.
flipping patties, basically.
Yeah.
Chopping things, going around, taking orders, shouting,
you
and
kind
pretending
of
like I've been here this whole time.
make a deception check.
I'm not good at that. Actually, I'm not bad at that. I got an unnatural 20. That's not as bad as I thought it was. Good job, my boy.
Alan turns around and just kind of, he's so shocked, he goes ahead and he drops the platter in front of him, and it's just like,
Now I gotta remake it.
where have you been?
I've been here. What are you talking about? Look, I'm cooking. I have an excuse. I'm really sorry. It's not my fault.
Honestly, I'm surprised to even hear that you're here. See that you're here. I heard that the city is on lockdown at this point.
It is.
I don't even want to know how you got in here.
Say, those 2 people over there. You see the 2 fucking weirdos?
The Dragonborn and the
Yeah,
dwarf.
the dwarf. Dwarf talks too much. Dragonborn doesn't talk at all. It's like this weird balancing thing they've got going on. They need a room for the night, and frankly, I kind of do too. I don't care if you want me to just sleep like on one of the benches. That's fine. But if you don't mind me staying the night somewhere, I don't even need a room. I don't want to take that away from the customers.
Let me look at the books and see
Thanks.
what I've got.
Yeah. If you don't have anything, that's fine. I'm not trying to. I don't want to impose.
Jasper, it's fine. Just you see the orders.
Yep. Got it. Yep.
I'm glad you're
it. I'm glad I'm here too. It's been a fucking day.
You go ahead and start cooking and whatnot. He goes ahead and checks the books and whatnot and starts talking to the Dragonborn and the talking to the Dragonborn.
Sure.
And
the Dragonborn.
the dwarf and managed to secure them a room and gets back to you and is like, we do have a room that's open. It's yours.
Cool. If it fills up by the end of tonight, that's fine. I'll sleep on a bench. I don't care. I just don't want to be able to. I don't know how.
I'd rather have you
out,
here than out there and not be able to get back in.
Yeah.
Or at least do whatever it was that you did tonight to be able to get in.
It's not good. Well, and I don't think I'd be able to get back in the same way because he paid for it. So.
Then it's required. You need to stay
yes,
here.
sir. Say no more. What am I gonna do? My cat needs to get fed.
I didn't think it was your cat.
It's not my cat. Did I say my cat? It's not my cat.
You did say your cat.
It's not my fucking cat.
You said it was your
it's
cat.
It's not my cat. I swear to God. Fuck off.
Would you like some tuna for that cat?
I swear to God. You might be my boss, but I may punch you in the face. I'm just gonna keep making food.
Go ahead and make me a... I can't move this thing to be able to see the things.
Yeah.
What would be a cooking check? I know we talked about having a cooking skill, but we never actually got that
We never
far.
actually got that far, but I would like to do that because the only things that I can think of that would be particularly relevant would be either survival, which I think is what we ended up doing, or performance.
Go ahead and do survival, but you're proficient.
I am proficient with it. Thank fuck!
It'll be your cooking score. You are proficient in cooking.
Okay.
But it'll be a wisdom.
Cool. I'm good with that. That sounds
So,
reasonable to me.
okay.
So, alright, cool. Well, in that case, that's a 23.
23.
I rolled a 19.
Customers are they were
Cooking.
pretty angry at first because the fact that, you know, Alan's a great guy and he can cook, but he
I'm
was
the fucking
expecting to have a cook here.
Sure.
So he was having to go back and forth.
Yeah.
And orders were late. It was a mess. And then all of a sudden you came and people started cheering. And it was just like, yes, thank you. We finally have food again. And all of a sudden, 5-star reviews again.
Hey. See what one guy on Yelp had to say about us. Who gave us a 1-star review. His opinion doesn't matter.
Yep. So that all happens.
Okay.
You have a pretty good shift. By the time that you are done with your shift, the Dragonborn and the dwarf are presumably up in their rooms.
Cool.
They are not in the tavern currently.
One thing that I would like to do as I'm cooking, presumably at some point, having worked in the food industry before, an order or two is going to come back.
Yeah.
I would like to, since we can't give it
Oh,
back
yeah.
out to anybody.
You can eat it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to
No?
pack it away. I'm going to get 2 of them.
Okay.
If I can. Or if I can't, then I'll split it in half. But, and just kind of wrap it up in some cheesecloth or something like that instead of
I would
sides.
say that you only have one comeback because your
That's fine.
cooking is that good.
That's fair. I'm good with that. I might
And it was actually what it was it wasn't actually brought back. It was just not finished.
Sure.
They couldn't finish it.
Okay, that works. Yeah, I'm gonna just take some of the leftovers and pieces and bits and bobs and things like that and kind of put it in a pack and throw it into the cold room.
Okay.
I assume they've got like a cellar or something like that so that I can throw it in there temporarily.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. It is the late hours of the night.
Mm-hmm.
You are relinquished from your shift. Is there anything that you would like to do before bed?
We're talking like 2 or 3 in the morning at this point, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You know that the low lit lantern is still open. Or the low lantern.
The low lantern.
Mm-hmm.
The all dogs go to heaven.
Yeah.
Ship. Got it.
Yeah. Or there's also if you wanted to try to sneak your way to investigate the fire or anything like that. Or you can go to sleep. It's up to you.
I think I need to blow off a little bit of steam. I got my ass kicked last night.
You did.
I don't want to go and do it again because my face still hurts.
It does.
All this laughing has just made it worse.
You also your
Oh,
shoulder is a
oh.
little bit strained because the fact that pack was a bit
And
heavy.
I have a 7 strength.
No.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hell, I'm not tired yet because I woke up at 3 in the afternoon.
Mhm.
It's only been 12 hours,
Yeah.
maybe. I'm gonna head on down there. Just kind of
Head out
my
where?
hood up to the low lit.
Okay.
The all dogs go to heaven
Yeah.
ship. That's what it is.
No, it's not. You go ahead and you go to the low lit lantern.
Cool. I'm gonna write down the actual name now so I don't forget.
The low lantern is what it's
The
called.
low lantern.
So you go ahead and do they actually have any? I will go ahead and read this.
Okay.
Just because you are going to it. First off, go ahead and actually make me a stealth check real quick just to get to the low lantern.
19.
19, okay. It is dangerous.
Sure.
Walking outside
I kind of figured it would be.
in the lower district,
Mhm.
any district,
Mhm.
to be quite honest. It's fairly easy for you to sneak through the lower district because it is so thickly covered in fog to the point where not really using any sort of light, you can really only, even with your dark vision, only see about an arm's length in front of you.
Well, shit.
If you have any sort of light, then you can see about 15 feet around you.
I don't know that I want to put out any kind of light because I don't want to draw attention to myself, honestly. So
Which you know the city well enough that I don't think you would need it, and it's not too terribly far away.
Can I, in light of the fog, can I get up onto like a roof or something and try to make my way there a little bit higher, like a higher elevation, where maybe just to see even if the fog goes up that high or if it's...
I would say that you would know that you could do that. The low lantern is not that terribly far from you, so I don't know if it would necessarily be prudent for you to do that. Maybe if you were traveling longer distance. But it's essentially, the Elsong Tavern is a little bit further inland, and the low lantern is on the docks. So you're just needing to move essentially to the docks.
I tell Alan that I'm going before I go, just so that he knows to expect me back. I'm not going to get in any trouble.
Trouble always seems to find you.
I can't figure out why that is. Listen, trouble found me last night. I pointed the bruise on my face.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm not going to go do that kind of trouble tonight.
Good. You need to stop doing that kind of trouble.
Do it though? It's fun. Ow. Maybe I do. I think you might be right. That still hurts.
I'm done arguing about this with you. It's your life. But know that I disapprove.
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome. So, you go ahead and make your way without any sort of light, but you know the way down there. Pretty stealthily, being able to avoid any kind of attention, which you do actually see a few Flaming Fist patrols walk past, and you avoid them easily. You arrive and fog obscures the low lantern until you get within 100 feet of it, whereupon its tall mass and creaking bulk come into view. The converted ship has rigging, but no sails, and is anchored to the wharf by thick chains. A wooden staircase climbs from the wharf's edge to the main deck. A low lantern at the bow casts an eerie green light to signify that the tavern is open for business. You walk up this staircase and onto the main deck portion, and you are greeted with the customary sight, though nobody seems to quite know why, of dead seagulls just littering the top of the deck.
Well, hell, that can't be good.
Not exactly sure why, and the owner is consistently trying to clean them away, and they just keep appearing. Nobody knows why, but there is no food. There's about snack food here, so health code violations?
Who cares?
Who cares?
It's fine.
And you hear the kind of shrill caw of like a crow or raven or whatnot on the mast as you continue to walk through and down into the galley of the ship. Whereupon we'll change. Milo and Gelfie, everybody.
D&D Beyond.
Oh, wow, that's really quiet. Well,
that's okay.
it's fine. Whereupon you enter, and it is a fairly lively, it's pretty dead at this point. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But there are still a few patrons around.
Nothing good ever happens after 2 o'clock in the morning. So
No.
saith Ted Mosby.
Nothing ever good happens.
There's literally a whole episode of How I Met Your Mother about this.
Yep. I've actually seen that.
It's
one
a good
too.
episode.
You walk in and you can immediately see the proprietor. You know her as the captain.
Okay.
But her true name is Lorela Thundereth.
You said Rayla Thundereth?
Lorela.
Oh.
Laraeelra. Thundereth. But she prefers to be called the captain.
The captain.
And you can see her...
The gentleman.
You can see her just absent-mindedly polishing some glasses or whatnot with her crab familiar sitting aloft her shoulder. She's got a very fluid, flowing pirate jacket that's made of, primarily dark blues and golds and whatnot. She's got the plumed hat. She looks pretty tired.
Okay.
It's not quite closing time, but a few hours left into the night. Might be getting there. You can see that there are a few patrons still hanging about. Your normal crew of Grimboot, the Dwargar, and
Where's my brother? What have you done with it?
Joran, your Grimboot the Dwargar, Joran the human, are sitting at a table currently playing cards. You normally also have a female friend that's there. Not, I mean, it's whatever you want, but,
Sure.
you know, a female Flaming Fist member that's typically off guard, and she had been suspended for a 10-day and had mostly been actually living at the Low Lantern pretty much, gambling away all of her monies. She is not there.
Okay, what's
however.
her name?
Her name is Skadrick, which is a really weird name.
Is she human or?
Yep.
Okay.
Skadrick Salakar. Salakar.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably say that she prefers just to be called by her last name because her first name is stupid.
Skadrick. That's like a name I would assume for like a dragonborn or something, or like an orc. But
yeah, this
for a human,
definitely does not.
her
sound
parents
human,
hated her
pretty much
a lot.
Yeah, and she gets into a lot of fights. She's actually probably
What
one of
should
the.
we name her?
No offense, Dean, or the Wizards of the Coast, but some of your names are just a little offense.
What should we name her? Our sweet, precious baby girl.
Skadrick.
I was thinking something wonderful, like Greta or Caroline. And the woman's like, oh, really? I was thinking Skadrick. Like,
it sounds like scabs. Anyways, you see.
This is the quality content that you come here for.
Yep. Anyways, you see your two friends, and the human Jorn kind of beckons you over, and kind of.
How's it going?
It's been okay. I'm surprised to see you here. To be quite honest, I don't really want to know. You
You sure?
well, actually, nope. I don't want to know.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not as
No?
bad as some things have been.
I still don't want to know. It's fine.
Fair.
I'm just. Have they opened the gates yet?
I don't
at
know.
least.
Maybe. Haven't really been down there. Don't know.
Hope they open it up soon. My
Yeah, me too.
stables aren't gonna be able to. Horses need feeding.
Shit, man, that's right. Fuck. What are you doing in here?
Well, my shift ended and I tried to go home and they wouldn't let me out.
That
And
blows.
so I'm here, just kind of waiting.
Is
And
there alcohol in this place?
there is.
I will buy him a round because I feel that.
Thank you. That's I have been drinking all day, but it's always appreciated for more. And
Just
at
try
that,
to
the
calm
Dugar kind of like, kind of grumbles.
Right, what he said. It's fine. You just gotta. I think this is why Jasper is so not phased by the Dragonborn, is because he deals with like the Dwargar all the time.
Who pretty much never talks. He just kind of grumbles.
So he just kind of is used to playing the Han Solo to somebody else's Wookiee.
Yeah.
Like, right, what he said.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What did you say, Chewie?
You here to play or you here to talk? Says the
Maybe a
Dugar.
little bit of both.
And he goes
Depends
ahead
on
and
the
just kind of like
conversation.
drunkenly puts a couple of copper pieces onto the table.
Cool.
Would you like to enter a game of gambling?
Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah?
I've been watching a lot of Yogg's poker over
Yeah?
the past few days, and I know that this isn't going to be actual poker. It's going to be like dice game. But
Yeah.
how many dice? How many sixes do I need?
3d6s.
Good, because that's all I have right now.
Good. I'm gonna use actual bone dice because I am special. Alright, so the rules of the game, just for edification, is we're going to each put down our bets. the Duergar, Jesus Christ, what is his name?
His name is Grimboot.
Grimboot goes ahead and puts down 3 copper pieces.
Okay.
So does Joran.
3 copper pieces.
So we're going to roll 3 dice. We're trying to get the highest number.
Okay.
But we can't go over 21.
Okay.
So got that, and then I'm also going to get something for Joran. Okay. This is where I have to do math.
Mm-hmm. I will show the viewers what I have gotten. That.
Grimboot
I don't know
goes
if you can
ahead
see that very
and
well,
kind of
but it's okay.
looks amongst the rest of you guys, kind of shifting his glances, digs into his coin purse, and pulls out another 3 copper pieces. Jorn goes ahead, yeah, okay, puts another 3 in.
Fuck it. 3. Are we allowed to? How does this work? Am I allowed to re-roll? I think I remember you telling me.
So you can roll an additional dice for each new bet.
Ah, okay. Then I will need more dice.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Thankfully, I've got the goblin horde. I just gotta go get it.
I'm just gonna write down my numbers.
Yeah, no. What's the point of having a goblin horde such as this? If you
don't,
you're not then going to use it.
Yeah.
I have so many d6s.
Mine
Thank
as
you,
well.
friends, Maddie. Because most of them came from them. Okay, another d6. Okay. Okay.
This is where I have to do math. The dwarf kind of shouts out some gruff curses in Undercommon, just kind of like shoves the dice to one side, busting.
Okay.
And Joran goes ahead and just kind of, still good? I'm going to go ahead and pull another 4 pieces of copper out.
I'll call that.
Joran kind of smiles. The Duergar just kind of like,
Listen, buddy, it happens, you know. Ah, fuck. Hang on, I gotta redo my math because my fucking. So that was. Right, okay. Where the fuck? There we go. Okay. Okay.
kind of motions with his nose a little bit and fusses with it.
Is it a tell? Is it a tell?
Go
What I
ahead.
know.
Give me an insight check.
That's not awful. That's a 14.
14. You can tell he always does that when he feels like he's got a good hand.
Okay.
And he's going to go ahead and look up at you, trying not to smile, and is going to go ahead and put another 4 copper pieces down.
How in this game do you...
We're trying to not...
No, I get that. I'm saying, when do you get to a point where you
Actually,
say, I would like to finish betting here and show my hand? And reveal how high I got. Are you trying to...
I'm going to say on the 4th round, because we've already had 3.
Sure.
It would be 3, but I'm going to go for 4.
Okay.
So this would be the last one.
Okay.
If you call, then it's fine. Then what would happen is, actually, we'll just call it here, to be quite honest.
Okay.
So it was 10 gold, or not 10 gold, a silver piece essentially is what we had gotten up to.
Yeah.
Joran goes ahead and reveals that he's got a 18.
I also have an 18. Even split.
Even split, but you also get to split
Exactly.
rim boots.
Yeah.
So we
So we
each
both end
get
up getting
5.
Five copper.
Yeah.
Wait, so I had to break down a gold, which meant that I had...
You actually get, whatchamacallit, it's not because he wasn't in for the entire thing. He was in for 2 of them, so we would each get 3 copper.
Okay, and then we would get 5 from the split from what we had each.
No,
it was,
no, we each essentially get our money back, and then you guys also get the 3. So you just get 3 copper.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I gauge that kind of game.
Yeah. As you play, the conversation kind of shifts towards some local banter and whatnot, and Jorn kind of asks you, "Did you hear about the hospital?"
I did. I saw it.
I hear that's pretty much the reason why the lockdown has happened. There's rumors that the dead 3 have come back. Ball symbol. It's right, you're new.
Explain? What is... Huh?
A lot of murders are about to happen here pretty soon.
Great.
A lot.
It's a good fucking thing I just got home from Waterdeep. God damn it.
So I'd be watching your back if I were you. They,
What do you know about El Terrell?
bunch of pious bastards, to be quite honest. Not much besides that. And I guess their city is gone at this point.
That's what I've been hearing too. It's kind of weird.
I can't quite get a clear story from any of them. If I ask them about it, they just kind of go blank-faced and just keep repeating, it's gone.
Well, if your whole city just up and disappeared, exploded, got destroyed, got raided,
I don't know.
one of those things, either way, what I'm saying is it's got to be dramatic.
It does. That would make sense. But I don't know. At first I thought it was that it just got raided by somebody. It happens from now and again. But it sounds like it disappeared. Like, one of the rumors that I've been hearing is that there's a crater in its place. Nothing exploded or came down from the heavens or anything like that. It just... Yeah.
That is...
I don't know how true it is, to be quite honest, but that's
Yeah.
the rumors at least.
Yeah, I don't know. But, like, on the one hand, I probably had a couple drinks in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, that's fucked.
It is fucked.
On the other hand, there's some crazy magic. I don't understand it.
I don't either. I'm just
But-
a rancher myself.
But I've heard some fucking stories.
Yeah, there are definitely
So-
some stories out there. Evil temples and what is it? There was a story about a bunch of wizards that wore the red cloaks.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
The
Aren't they
Fae?
the Thayans? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thayans? Whatever.
Red Fae? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really concern myself with all that stuff, but
It's probably better not. We've got enough shit in our hands.
I
You
listen,
more
I have
literally-
enough problems.
You've got enough
just-
shit in your hand, literally, because you got the horses.
Yeah, they pay well, so I just hope I can get back to them.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm gonna try to find a room somewhere
Yeah.
tonight. Guess I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll be around. You know me.
Stay safe.
You too. Grim Boot,
Ah.
I'm gonna head back.
Okay.
Presumably it's been a few hours at this point. How much have I lost and how much have I gained?
For gold.
Yeah. I don't mind a random fucking roll because I've presumably been doing this for a long time, or at least an hour or two, just to blow off some steam. So I'm sure that something's happened.
They start betting. The bets never get too terribly serious because
Sure.
nobody really has a whole lot of money
Sure.
to be able to expend.
Uh-huh.
But go ahead and give me a what would this be? Like an insight check, I guess, to be able to.
Works for me. 18.
18. You actually end up making about 5 silver from them.
And I'm gonna make another gold tomorrow. Maybe 2.
Yeah,
I might
maybe 2.
convince him to get me 2 because this has been a hassle.
It has been a hassle. You go ahead and you make your way back to the Elson Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check at disadvantage because you are fairly drunk.
Okay. First bad roll of the night.
Yeah?
Oops. 9.
9. You kind of stumble your way out of the low lantern, and you're trying to be a little bit sneaky, but you end up tripping over one of the dead seagulls and kind of land face first into the wooden planks, and you just hear this. I can't really do it.
Sure.
This kind of cawing sound that you swear fucking sounds like laughter, and you look up, and there are these 2 black birds. You can't. It's foggy. You can't quite tell, but you know, it's fucking birds, and it seems like they're laughing at you.
I flip them off.
And they kind of like flap a little bit and continue.
Sure.
And you,
Captain,
go to bed.
I'm going to bed, but you gotta do something about these fucking birds, man.
I'll clean them up in the morning.
I'm really sorry, but like, it's a hazard. I'm just gonna leave.
You get up and you stumble your way down, trying to be as careful as you can, and thankfully because you know the town, you get your way back.
Sure.
You kind of at some points slump up against the wall a little bit. And you're not really being stealthy, but nobody messes with you.
I think I'm being as stealthy though.
Yeah. And you make it back to your room and you pass out. Alan goes ahead and gives you. It's a very small room and essentially just consists of a bed.
It's nicer than what I've got back home.
It is a lot nicer than what you've got.
Yeah.
And you pass the fuck out.
Nice.
Morning comes.
Do we want to take a break at all, or do we want to
I'm
keep trucking
almost done,
forward?
actually.
That's cool. That's fine.
We forgot about a break.
That's okay. I wasn't sure.
You go ahead and morning comes and the light starts streaming into your window.
Once again, pull something up over my face because I'm hungover again.
Yep. And you make your way downstairs and you hear some whisperings, like hushed whisperings, and just gawking sounds or whatnot. And there's even, as you're making your way down the stairs, there's like a shocked gasp.
Can I, before I make my presence known, I want to, as I'm hearing the stuff as I'm coming down, I don't want to come out yet. I just want to kind of pause and be silent and listen.
Okay.
See if there's
Go
anything
ahead
I
and
can
give
glean
me
before
a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Oh god, yes. Oh, amazing. My expertise. Ugh. 19.
19. You start to hear these whispers of, I can't believe, what was the point of this? Like, why? I guess they're just killing everybody now.
Do I recognize any of these voices as people that I know, or?
You're not really familiar with the morning crowd.
Fair.
You're typically not here.
Yeah, that's fair.
So no, you don't quite recognize anybody. You do.
It's not like Alan talking,
No,
I guess.
it's not like Alan talking. Why haven't the Fists done anything about this? You really expect the Fists to do anything about this? They can barely tie their own shoes, let alone. I don't even know what they're gonna do anymore. I mean, it's been in their family for ages. Is it going to close? I don't know. I severely hope it doesn't, but I don't see how it could continue to run without him. Nobody's safe anymore in this town. Nobody. And there just kind of continues to be murmurs of agreement.
I'm gonna come downstairs and make it look like I wasn't, just be silent the whole way down so it's not like I had stopped.
You kind of make your way down, and it's not like a grand staircase or anything like that, but you do kind of come around the corner, and you are greeted by the sight of quite a few townsfolk standing around a body.
Fuck. I'm gonna go up to it.
It is Alan.
Shit!
His guts are splayed open and just draped across everywhere. And there is, it seems as if somebody has dipped their hands in blood, presumably Alan's, and drawn out this red skull on the floorboards with a circular kind of blood stain around it.
Everybody out. Get out.
That's where we're going to end tonight's
Out.
session.
Okay. Jesus Christ! Alan! No! Alan!
Alan's dead.
Alan! If I had stayed, I might have been able to stop it from happening. Or at least heard it. But my gambling addiction... Oh no! Oh, Alan, I'm sorry that I went out when you told me not to.
It's all your fault.
I wasn't getting into that much trouble. Aww. Oh, Alan, I'm sorry.
So that's our first session.
Well, shit.
Welcome to Baldur's
Welcome
Gate.
to Baldur's Gate. There's some shit going on in here. You
Yeah.
thought you were safe running a nice little tavern with a ghost elf that sings in it? Spoilers.
Yeah.
Nope. Fuck you. Gutted.
Yeah.
That's
he's
it.
Gone.
He's dead. Ripperoni.
Blood money.
Rip rusted pepperoni.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
So
Poor Alan.
poor Alan. He was a cool dude.
He was a nice dude. He was my employer, and he looked out for me.
Yep. All right. So that's pretty much what I got, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Was the gambling worth it? Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you for joining us.
This was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed
We
it.
will see you back next week with the follow-up to what the fuck's going on with Fane.
Yeah, you
in
get
the
to find out
Underdark.
what's going on with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.